recently I went to the Brooklyn Boyhood party. If you don't know what Brooklyn Boyhood is, you really should. So they have like a calendar which celebrates like the masculine spectrum of like queer folks, specifically like female-bodied queer folks. And it was a really dope party, right? And I say that with like a hesitancy in my voice because at the beginning of the party I really got pissed off. Now, as you may know, I identify as a hard femme, and like I dress femmy, whatever that means, feminine, and like, you know, I have accessories and like nails and like lip gloss and shit, and I love that shit. However, I have a butch swag. Now, I don't always like personify that butch swag, but it is there. Like, I love butches. That's a whole other video blog. But yeah, so I mean, and while I love like, you know, the way that women personify like masculinity, specifically like black women, black dykes, and how masculinity falls on their body, how they carry themselves, their swagger, the talk, the manner of speech, all of that, right? Like, I adore it. And not only do I like to see in other people, sometimes I like to get down and flow with it, right? So, and this is like, nobody sees me, but like I dress butch like once or twice a year, so it's really, really rare. And I'm like the stiletto rocking, lip gloss popping, like all of that, right? But once in a while this shit comes out. So at the Brooklyn Boyhood party, my homie Zara, also known as Eke, if you don't know about her, you need to get up on her, she is the ish, was performing drag kinging, right? So of course I'm gonna support Eke drag kinging and just be at the party and have fun. So it just came upon me. I just caught the butch spirit Friday morning. I'm like, I am going to go hard with the butchness today. I am gonna go so butch. I had like my Timberlands, which I had never worn. I've worn Timberlands, but they haven't been mine. But like, I bought my own pair and I had not worn them, so I was wearing my Timbs for the first time. It was so, and my baggy ass jeans, so baggy I could probably fit like 2 legs in one pant leg. That type of baggy with the sports bra and the fucking like polo shirt and like my hair all up and shit. It was ridiculous. My whole swag and even the way I was holding my body had changed, right? So I rolled up for the party and I only told like Zara that I was gonna be dressing butch, so everybody was like, it was so funny because Tasha was like, oh my god, who's that girl who looks just like Fly? And she's like, oh shit. So it was mad funny, right? But anyway, so it's like mostly like kind of these funny, sweet, cute little like interactions with people who are like, oh my god, I didn't know you could get down like that, Yvonne, you know? So it was fun. Until this one person, who shall remain nameless, rolled up to me and Z and was like this, right? Was like, so is this a look y'all are going for? Yeah. I looked at her like that and I was like, what do you mean? She's like, this look. I could not even, I'm like, really, son? You've met me once. Yes, my titties were out that time that you met me, but just because you met me once wearing something that was feminine or femme does not mean that you get to roll up on me and make some kind of like snide, upturned nose remark about how I look just because you expected me to be in a different box that I particularly do not feel like inhabiting right now. You know, and first of all, like, you and I both know I really doubt you were born into those motherfucking Chucks or Timbs or baggy jeans or sports bra or fucking boy shorts or boxers or whatever the fuck you got on. I doubt that you came out of your mama's, like, coochie looking just like that with that exact same swag. What I'm trying to say is that all of us are gender fluid on some level or another. We transition, we transform. It might not be literally taking like tea or like getting surgery, but we all transform or transition through our life. Gender is a gender. It is a spectrum. It is a continuum. No one is stagnant. Very few people are stagnant. You change something, you know, so I feel, you know, we're all queer folks. I feel like we need to give each other a little bit of freaking slack. Like, if I want to roll to a party in Tim's, appreciate and, like, love the fact that I have the ovaries to be able to get down and do something that maybe you wouldn't expect and just be out of whatever box it is that we have been put in by society. This box is not for us to live in. We get to create what the fuck we do gender-wise. This is something that we make up. You only believe that I'm supposed to look a certain way because you believe it. That has nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with your expectation of who the fuck I am am, which has nothing to do with who I actually am. You know, I'm like, and can we please not get it twisted? You and I both know that chances are 2 years ago, 5 minutes ago, who fucking knows? Last month, you might have been a motherfucking femme rocking a thong and stilettos your damn self. And ain't nobody judging you, looking you up and down like there's something wrong with you because you're choosing to do something else right now with your fucking gender expression at this motherfucking party. Shut it down. I was so heated. I was so heated. I was so heated. And that kind of reaction is actually precisely why I sometimes do not like express my inner Butch Swagger, because I don't want to deal with that type of shit. Like, I don't want to deal with somebody looking me sideways or like, you know, throwing their fucked up gender issues upon me because they can't handle that I am not fitting into whatever they need me to be so that they can feel comfortable in who the fuck they need to be, because me being a certain way makes them feel like they can be a certain way, because, you know, all of our genders are related to each other. So if I'm being fluid in a way that you don't like or you don't know that someone can be, it makes you feel challenged about what the fuck you're doing and why the fuck you're in that box, and maybe you shouldn't be doing la 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 and on and on and on. So, like, you know, I honestly just prefer to dress femme most of the time, right? But sometimes when I am considering dressing butch, right, when I'm like, oh, I feel like, you know, throwing on some baggy, you know, jeans or whatever, some of the things that I consider that sometimes give me pause, it doesn't like necessarily stop me, but it gives me pause, right, is like, well, what are people gonna say? Case in point, this dumb motherfucker saying some dumb shit to me, right? And then also, you know, I primarily date butch women, right? Like, that's primarily what I'm attracted to. I think more and more I'm open to dating like whatever spirit moves me, and they don't have to fit into like being butch at all. Actually, I had a crush on a femme like a few months ago, so I'm totally open. But primarily, if you look at who I dated and, you know, what I'm attracted to, who I'm attracted to, it's been butch women. So part of me in my head is like, oh my god, you're going out to a party, and what if you meet someone who's butch and they look at you and they're gonna be like, yo, you're butch, you're like my brother or whatever. And I'm like, actually, I mean, no. Actually, I kind of want to kiss your face. So because, you know, we all fit into these little boxes, it's like, I don't want someone to, like, not know that, I mean, I got mad pink panties, son. Like, I'm really, you know, like, I'm a hard femme, but I'm definitely a femme. You know, so it's like, I don't want someone to look at me and think that, and not understand the fluidity that I can sometimes encompass in my gender. So I'm like, no, you gotta be femme, because who you would want to attract would not be attracted to you if they saw you as butch. So it's like this huge mind fuck, right? Because it's like, well, what if I see someone who's butch and they're not typically butch and I'm attracted to them as a butch? And then it's like, and then you're just like, you could just go on forever and ever and ever into the endless cycles of who people can be on any given day and what you see and do you like that, and is it really the spirit of the person that you're fucking checking for, or is it like how they're rocking that fucking sports jersey? I don't know. It's really weird. Yeah, so these things happen. So I think about, like, being attracted to people and people being attracted to me, and will I be able to attract to me the kind of folks that I want to attract to me if they see me as in a gender identity that I really honestly exhibit maybe 2 days out of the year, right? And then also it's like conversations or random like incidents like that where people like want to like throw you shade because they don't know how to deal with your gender. So I was just, I mean, I don't know. I guess this is what I wanted to say, is like, I feel like we need to give each other a little bit of fucking slack when it, especially as queer folks of color. Like, we make this shit up as we go along, and there's really no need to like try and put somebody in a box that was never meant for them, and really just like give ourselves a little bit of fucking freedom. Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, if you want to wear like, you know, lipstick one day and then be like a biker chick the next day, and then be, I don't know, dress up like a character out of Rocky Horror Picture Show another day, and then like be Prince, and then like be a gay boy. Like, you can do whatever you want. And like, I feel like people are all about like, I can do whatever I want, but when it comes to somebody else doing what they want, like, they get a little bit touchy. And I also think actually people are hard on themselves too about what the fuck they can do. Because I know, like, for myself, sometimes I feel like I'm not femme enough, or I'm like, oh my god, I'm dressing up, so therefore I need to put on some stilettos, when really I just feel like wearing flats because it's hot and we live in New York and there's concrete everywhere, and sometimes you have to walk mad blocks to the party, and I don't want to pay for a cab, and if I'm wearing those stilettos, I'm gonna need to take a cab because they're cute, but they're not comfortable. So, I don't know. This whole long thing is just me saying, honestly, if you're gonna try and like put somebody else in a box, a gender box, or like police how the fuck they present themselves gender-wise, fuck you. fuck you twice, fuck you 3 or 4 times, because you really need to just check yourself and shut that shit down, and you need to be prayed for.